Okay. What? It's about robots that kill people. It's not that far off from what I usually talk about. You know what Five Nights My Freddy? These idiots right here. December 4th, 2025 will go down as one of the greatest days of my life. My Freddy has been five-nighted. I loved Five Nights at Freddy's 2 so much. Don't worry, no spoilers yet, this will come later and I'll give a warning for them. The first movie was already like one of my favorite things ever. Like just as someone who grew up during the initial Prime Fnaf era, seeing a Fnaf movie actually happen was unbelievable, and I loved it so much. I was hoping the second one would carry that feeling, and it absolutely does. I was shaking in my seat with excitement and being giddy the whole movie. I liked it just as much as the first one, if not more so. All the apostate critics who slander this film can suck a fat fucking cock and drop dead. Like, I don't care if you think the movie didn't make sense or something. Like, I saw complaints like this for the first one too, and shut the fuck up! It's based on a video game series that's famous in part for not making sense and going, fuck you, dude, figure it out yourself. If the movie didn't make sense, it sounds like a proper Five Nights at Freddy's movie to me. And don't give me that shit about how the first games were far more cohesive and logical than the movies or the later franchise or something, okay? Like, in the very second game, there is a giant, magic, animatronic bear head that flies, okay? This series has been nuts forever, and that's part of why I've always found it so much fun. So much stuff just happens because, yes. And also, don't give me that shit about, oh, the movie should be rated R, they need to have more violence and gore and stuff. Like, hey, you know what also doesn't have a ton of violence and gore? The original games. Plus, if they made it rated R, they'd lose half their audience because, like it or not, half the fanbase is children. And honestly, I gotta say, being a kid in middle school when the first Fnaf games came out was one of the greatest experiences of all time. Like, if you know, you know. So I'm glad the games could be scary, but not absolutely traumatizing. Also can't stand the complaint about the movies only being good for fans, implying that being a Fnaf fan is the line between these movies being awesome or unwatchable. Like, what Fnaf normie wouldn't still find these fun, fan or not? Anyway, for anyone else who didn't like this movie, I need to let you know that it's actually an objective fact that this movie is biblically amazing, and if you don't like it, you're stupid and wrong. I know this because Scott Cawthon literally appeared to me after I got home from the movie as the immaculate angel of light that he is, and he told me that the heavens and universe all collectively deemed it to be true that this movie is amazing. I'm not kidding, guys, he told me. And are you gonna disagree with the powers above and fabric of the universe? Are you stupid? Are you a fucking idiot? Anyway, yeah, loved all of it, especially the details like the practical animatronic work, that's always amazing. Ignore everyone who tells you this movie is bad because they're stupid and wrong. My source is divine intervention from Scott Cawthon, trust me. I'm surprised I really loved it equally as much as the first movie. Now, I do like the original second game, it's just I've always preferred the first game. Because while the second game having so many new characters is fun, there's so many to the point that when you get to the later nights, the game stops being scary and just becomes kinda annoying because of all the characters you constantly have to deal with just for Balloon Boy to cause them to get you. But yeah, no, this movie, insanely fun, changed my life. So if you haven't seen it, we're about to talk spoilers, so go and watch it right now. I said go watch it right now. Why are you still here? Leave, God. Okay, spoiler time. Just gonna run through some more points real quick. They brought back that theme song, oh my god! The theme from the first movie was such a banger. Yo, yo, yo! I loved it so much. I've listened to it hundreds of times by now. I was praying that they'd bring back this absolute musical masterpiece for the second movie. I was on the edge of my seat when the credits started, hoping to hear that theme start. And then, when it actually started playing, I squealed to myself in the theater and was bopping along in my seat. Absolutely amazing start already. So much great stuff from there on out. Like the characters I was expecting to see, of course, and characters I was not expecting to see. Most of all, probably being Circus Baby? Hello? I'm aware of the books. I know what's coming. There's others, of course, like there was even Shadow Bonnie in there if you missed it, which was really neat. Also, my theater had a special version of this movie, where during the scene where Vanessa visits the marionette box, an alarm started to go off. Now, this wasn't actually part of the movie. It was because some idiot in my theater had tried to go out the emergency exit door with the warnings on it, and not the very obvious main theater door that everyone entered in. Wasn't a big deal though, it wasn't super loud or anything, and it only went on for 2 minutes, but still. Anyway, now I'm not one of those snobs who's like, ew, why is there CGI in my movie? But again, I really appreciate all the practical effects work in these. All the new characters look great, especially the withered ones. If anything, I wish some of them got to do more. Like, sometimes I found myself going, oh, that's it? Oh, okay. Like, Balloon Boy only does all of 2 things in this movie, the second of which being Josh Hutcherson just walks over and tears his head off, and that's it. But like, you know what? That's fair. Maybe he could have gone for the sweet succulent AA batteries, but honestly though, I did really like how he actually kinda was doing the thing and playing Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in the movie. Something I felt was absent from the first movie was that Josh didn't actually really do any Five Nights at Freddy-ing. Like, the office had a door, but not the doors, or lights, or frequent camera checking, so on. But in this movie, he actually pretty much does the thing. He's in the Fnaf 2 office, checking the hall with a flashlight, checking the vent, using the Freddy mask to save himself, but just like in the game, it doesn't work on Foxy. So it was all very great stuff, you love to see it. And hey, practically the whole movie happens because the marionette's music box wasn't wound up, meaning it got out as it does, so that's also something. The marionette was neat though. The first movie had 5 ghosts to make stuff happen, but this film really only had 1 that had to make everything happen. But it was cool how they made that work. The marionette also does this thing where it possesses people or something, and they turn into human versions of the marionette. At first, I thought it was like an Ennard wearing Michael situation, but it seems like the whole marionette just disappears and transfers into a person. Which, like, I have no idea how that works, or what exactly was going on, but this is also the franchise that has insane shit all the time, including a time-traveling ball pit, so I really don't care. That's just what happens, that's just how it is. The best part of this movie, though, is probably the return of the animatronics of the first movie. They're established to be seemingly gone after they took down William Afton, and Mike goes back to the Freddy Fazbears from the first movie to ask for their help to save Abby from the marionette. And I was expecting, like, just their ghost or something to show up, but oh my god, it was so much better than that. So, I love the original Foxy, right? Simply just because I don't know, he was the one I picked as my favorite when I was 11 years old, so I just committed to that for the rest of my life. So I thought he was great in the first movie. I mean, just like the first game, he was just a menace. Maybe not so much as that damn Cupcake was, who was a fucking beast for some reason. But still, I loved how he had stuff like the Dum Dum song. They used it really well to kind of hype up that he was coming to kick your ass in the first movie. Anyway, so now the toy animatronics are all at Mike's house surrounding Mike, Abby, and Vanessa. They're going in for the kill. So imagine my shock and joy when during this moment, you suddenly just hear the first Foxy singing his Dum Dum song. It was like Falcon's "On Your Left" line from Avengers Endgame. but if it was actually good. As then, my goat appears and kicks MatPat's ass. All the animatronics from the first movie pull up to kick the shit out of the toy animatronics because fuck yes. Like, you know the Avengers Assemble scene from Avengers Endgame? Now imagine that scene if it was actually good, and it would be this scene. It was beautiful. It was literally like that "We are Fnaf" joke, but real. So this was all incredibly amazing. Kellen Goff did his usual great thing. MatPat's toy Bonnie wasn't exactly what I was expecting. I don't know why I expected him to sound like, "Hello, Internet!"
Because, for some reason, he has a really high-pitched voice like this.
But you love that he's in there and it's great. Still can't believe they cast Megan Fox as Toy Chica. Like, why would you do that? You fuckers know what you've done. But hey, is there any other movie out there where I can watch Michaela Baines play a robot chicken who is actually a ghost puppet that kills Newman from Seinfeld? Because yeah, Wayne Knight is also in this film as a comically dickish teacher. Also, Michael Afton was in here too. He's in the beginning and then just kind of shows back up at the end. It's like the thing they did with William Afton in the first movie, where he's in the beginning and then suddenly shows up at the end like, "It's actually been me the whole time." I guess Mike Schmidt has kind of been stealing Mike Afton's hero role, so he's a villain instead, but that's fine, whatever. Get scooped, idiot. Also, I wish I bet money on the ending of the movie because for months I had been saying that despite the trailers, William Afton would not be in the movie at all. He'd just show up in flashbacks or something, and then the movie would end with it going, "Oh, William's still alive, Springtrap, uh-oh." And that's exactly what happened, and after saying it out loud, I realized that's not really an impressive prediction at all, but still. Super excited for Silly Billy Willy to return in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Oh, and then they played It's Been So Long during the credits, and it was also awesome. I tried to do that Markiplier dance thing in my seat. Anyway, from the characters, to the details, to the references, to the memes, I loved this movie. This film, Five Nights at Freddy, I give it a 1987 out of 10. If you don't like it, that's fine, you're just wrong. Sit back and watch as everyone else has a good time. Can't wait for the next one. I hope Foxy hits Springtrap with a crowbar. Pat yourself on the back if you understood that. Probably gonna go back to watch this one again as soon as I can in the meantime. Bye-bye!